25. This is First Coast News at 5.
This image has been seen across the world and has been viewed more than 500,000 times on our First Coast News Facebook page. The rivalry between gold medalist Michael Phelps and South Africa's Chad Leclos is quite obvious. You see him looking over right there. Right now you're taking a live look at Rio, and in just a few minutes we will hear from our sports director Chris Porter. But first, we start our newscast with local breaking news. 15 people have been arrested, and more arrests are possible in what the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is calling Operation Blue Hawk.
It's an undercover sting to catch adults who try to meet up with minors for sex over the internet. First Coast News' Stephen Dial joins us live with the story. Stephen?
JSO Sheriff Mike Williams says those men traveled to meet to have sex with those minors as young as 14 years old, and the sheriff says one of the suspects left a 6-year-old at his house to go have sex with a minor. This operation started on July 19th and actually wrapped up today, but they say it's still actually ongoing, but they made more arrests today. The sheriff says that this was a multi-agency operation, including the Nassau County Sheriff's Office, the Orange Park Police Department, FDLE, and a host of other law enforcement agencies. And the sheriff says with school getting ready to start back, it's very important for parents to make sure to know what your children are doing on the internet.
Really, it's about being engaged with a child, knowing who, if anyone, is talking to your child on the internet and who that person is, and some basic rules beyond that.
Coming up on First Coast News at 6, find out what one of those suspects brought with him when he was hoping to meet a child to have sex. I'll have that report for you when you join us later tonight at 6. For now, live downtown, Stephen Dial, First Coast News.
All right, Stephen, thank you. We are tracking storms on the radar.
That's right, those storms to the south of us right now. Meteorologist Tim Deegan joins us with more. Tim.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Jessica. And we're still dealing with the eastern envelope, we'll call it. And here are the storms erupting, heading from the south to the north. Notice the shading well out to the west now. As the tropical low continues to head away from us, none of our counties are under any type of flood watches. It's all out to the west. But as temperatures made it up to about 90 under that tropical blue afternoon sky, the showers and thunderstorms have erupted. Now notice we do have activity out around from Waycross on down to Baker County, but the heaviest of the rains and the strongest storm over the last hour or so has come out of Flagler and Putnam County, continues to work to the north. Going to zoom in on that. Lots of lightning and heavy rain, but now pulling away from Palatka and northwest Flagler County and staying pretty much the worst of it to the west of St. John's. Heaviest right over Clay and could make it into southern Duval within about the next hour. We'll take it beyond the next hour in just a few moments.
Anyone that hurt a child, that can think about hurting a child, an innocent girl, a beautiful, innocent girl with a bright future, what this man took from my daughter, she could never get back.
It's been 1 year since an innocent 8-year-old girl was brutally beaten and sexually assaulted near an Arlington neighborhood. And today, police say the man behind that attack is still on the loose.
Tonight, that 8-year-old's family continues to plead with anyone with information to help them and to come forward and go to police. First Coast News reporter Jason Randall visited that Arlington neighborhood today, and he joins us live with the latest. Jason?
This is the hole in the fence that family says that suspect entered and grabbed their 8-year-old girl before taking her into the woods. Both family and JSO say they still need your help to capture whoever did this. Now, to protect the privacy of the victim, we will not be identifying any of the family members that we talked to today.
It's been a nightmare. It's been a nightmare.
The father of the victim says he spent the last 2 days passing out flyers in search of whoever did this to his little girl.
Let's just say he's a soulless cretin is the best adjectives that I could come up with to describe what he did.
JSO Director Tom Hackney was at the scene of the attack. He says every gruesome detail is etched in his mind. In the nearby Arlington community, neighbors are still shaken.
That's a disgusting act that he did. People was scared, you know. A lot of people was cautious, you know, about what was going on and everything.
It is my wish that this guy is caught, that this case is really diligently worked, not just talked about.
The father expressed his frustrations during Wednesday's press conference.
You came a year ago, said there was DNA evidence with no match.
The purpose of us standing here is not to debate this case with the parent in front of the media. I'm happy to talk to you after this, sir.
JSO says 1 year later, they've received great cooperation from residents, in part thanks to tips through the Justice Coalition and Crime Stoppers. Hackney says JSO has processed more than 25 items in the case, but says they aren't sharing much so as to not affect their case.
There's a special place for this guy. I would like to be able to put him in jail until he has to reach that special place.
The father has this plea to anyone with information.
If you know anything about what happened, come forward. Whoever it is, come forward. Come forward, please.
And during that story, you heard that brief interaction between Director Hackney and the father. The father says he got some of his questions answered, but not all of them. He says he also learned some sensitive information. Live in Arlington, Jason Rantala, First Coast News.
Jason, thank you. A team of detectives from various counties helped take an armed robbery suspect off the streets. 35-year-old Ricky Barker Jr. is now behind bars after being arrested in Jacksonville. The Clay County Sheriff's Office says he's responsible for a holdup at the Advanced Discount Auto Store in Orange Park on Sunday. 2 employees and 2 customers were held at gunpoint. Investigators say Barker may be connected to a similar robbery recently in St. Johns County as well.
New details about the man police say was behind a cockfighting ring here on the First Coast. 38-year-old Timothy Prosser now faces a charge for selling and using equipment for animal fighting or baiting. Police say when they arrived at the home last night in Jacksonville, they questioned Prosser. He apparently denied the cockfighting allegations, but told JSO everything in the backyard, spurs and blades, belonged to only him.
Well, in St. Johns County, like many counties all over the First Coast, parents dropped off their kids today for the very first day of school.
That's right. Our Shelby Danielson gives us a glimpse into their heartfelt goodbyes.
Pretty soon these halls will be a little quieter and not so full of parents because we see a lot of moms and even more so dads taking their kiddos to school. Let's be honest, those first day jitters are felt by both the kids and the parents. But you'll notice these middle school dads,
they're ready to get back into a routine,
are past that whole emotional state.
No, it's not as emotional. No.
Clearly.
You must put this on the news to embarrass them.
And so are some of their kids.
Didn't even need us to help out, but we joined just because we wanted to.
But if you head over to the elementary school where you'll see just as many dads, that whole letting go thing is still a work in progress.
The one in the red shirt. Yes. It's his first day in 3rd grade.
Robin Pundamira's son took the bus, but he still showed up.
I have a collection of his first days every year, so I just want to make sure I don't miss it before I go to work. So
that sentiment is echoed all along this sidewalk.
That was great. I actually took off work so I could do it.
What does it mean to you to have your dad here holding your hand, bringing you to school?
My keychain.
And sometimes dads are just needed for clarification's sake. What about your keychain? You got to see Road with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were last week.
Everywhere you looked this morning, there was a dad taking pictures with their kids, holding hands, and most likely just trying to hold it all in.
Your baby's growing up, you know, they grow up and you just kind of want to be there with them.
I'm a parent, so that's what parents do.
I kind of want to be that role model to kind of guide him in the right direction.
But of course, we can't talk about dads without ending with what I like to call dad advice.
Have fun, enjoy it.
Just have a wonderful day and behave.
Be nice, behave, that kind of thing, the normal stuff.
Just be good, listen to your teacher, that's it.
What happens if they don't behave?
Don't get it.
For Back to School, I'm Shelby Danielson, First Coast News.
All right, so in more education news now, if you plan to attend the Clay County School Board's special meeting tonight, you can make other plans because the meeting has been canceled. The school board continues to be at odds over very serious allegations against the district's superintendent, Charlie Van Zandt.
In a press conference today, tempers flared as school board members went head-to-head over how the matter should be handled. Our Brittany Dion was there. She joins us now with why the school board canceled the meeting. Brittany.
Got very heated indeed today. The Clay County School Board planned to meet tonight to discuss recent accusations against Superintendent Charles Van Zandt. That is until Chairwoman Joanna McKinnon, who called the meeting in the first place, canceled it. Now at today's meeting, last week an email written by a former principal and Florida Teacher of the Year accused Van Zandt of multiple unethical and possibly illegal practices, including plagiarism and mislabeling students to boost county test scores. At a press conference today, which lasted less than 10 minutes, you could really feel the tension in that room. McKinnon says she canceled tonight's meeting because it violates district policy for the school board to comment on complaints against employees. Yet, because Van Zandt is an elected official, he's not not considered an employee, giving the school district very little power in an investigation into his behavior. Now take a listen to what McKinnon says is the reason for her canceling tonight's meeting.
According to Florida law, any person wishing to initiate an investigation into the conduct of elected officials must make a sworn complaint with the Commission on Ethics. Until this investigation has reached its end, the agenda item for the August 18th meeting on this matter cannot be discussed at a public meeting without further violating board policy.
So we're at an impasse because so far no official complaint has been filed with either the school board or the state ethics commission. Still, board member Janice Kirkikson is calling for an external investigation on when the exchange got very heated today. We'll have more on that coming up at 5:30. Back to you.
Okay, thank you. So imagine having to have your leg cut off. The trauma of that alone is terrible. Well, now imagine your insurance company saying your new prosthetic leg is not medically necessary and they won't cover it. Ken Amaro is on your side tonight.
And as the medal count for Team USA continues to climb, our Jeannie Blaylock and Chris Porter are live in Rio with the latest from the Summer Olympic Games.
And of course, winter down there, but up here we are in the core of the hurricane season, and the good news, we have no hurricanes to track, just a few lows bringing some needed rain. We'll take a look at what that means for the next 7 days.